Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Yeah, Solana is dropping finally. Yeah, we talked about it in the previous video that we broke below those previous micro support levels already, and then we had this channel still, and I mentioned to you, we broke below 2220, but which was, I think briefly we broke it, and we invalidated imminent upside potential. We had a 1-2 setup here before. That made it quite likely we would drop further, but obviously we needed a more substantial drop below 2220. It was quite nebulous in the last video, and we needed a drop out of the channel. Now you can see again how relevant that is. If anybody maybe placed a breakout short here or a stop loss, at least you would have been protected had you gone long. But yeah, this was a very, very relevant support area. Now we broke it now, and we've reached, I think this was one of the next targets we talked about, between 1985 1932. We'll take them out now because we want to take a fresh look at the chart now. But in the end, what is happening here is basically what is currently working out, in my opinion. I think it looks like a C wave. It looks like we're doing this. Wave 1, 2. This could be a third, fourth, and fifth down into the support area. I'm curious to see if this one is going to hold, because it really depends on, are we doing a fourth wave? I think we are doing a fourth wave. It would be in line with what Bitcoin, Ethereum are doing. What is annoying in these fourth waves generally is that you often get flat patterns, and these flat patterns are extremely difficult to detect, especially it seems like in the current range here, sort of in the last months, because it's getting very, very ambiguous. I mean, I currently count this as an expanded flat. So it's basically sideways movement. Yeah, an expanded flat is classed as a sideways correction. It's still classed as a bullish correction. Let's call it bullish correction if something like that actually exists. And it's called like that because basically you get your retracement, you get a fake out to the upside. Yeah, you get that because the market is still very bullish, but we got it only in 3 waves, so it failed. And then it comes down, and then it normally still rallies. So an expanded flat. You also get occasion when you get that, this high B wave, you can get a shallow wave C. So it could have been that the wave C would have ended somewhere here. Therefore, I could never rule out directly going higher from here. But the break below micro support already told us that it's probably not going to happen, which is now playing out. But yeah, that is so difficult. That's what is so difficult in these wave 4s. That's why trading a fifth wave is often not recommended, or at least not so easy. Trading the third is best because it's normally the longest wave, and the wave 2 is normally quite, you can identify it quite well. I think at the time we talked about this as a 1-2, and then we had an entry point here, which was another 1-2, and we had here an entry point. So this was great. Yeah, I think we had one here as well. I did take that support area out and so on. But yeah, it's generally classed as a sideways correction, even an expanded flat, which comes down quite low in the C wave, but it's still a sideways correction, and that is what makes them so difficult to detect. And also, what is even more difficult is that in a wave 4 you can have triangles, so it's usually quite messy, and that's also why I'm thinking we still see the wave 4 here. Yeah, because we moved up in 3 waves. It just looks like, it adds up. Of course, alternatively, what I cannot rule out is that we came down in the 4th here, we moved up in the 5th, and that we're now in the wave 2. That we had here A wave, B wave, and we're now coming down in C. But even then, we should normally not exceed this support area to the downside. Ideally not, because just from the proportions here, if this was an A wave in wave 2, this the B wave, then the C wave would be way too long if we really go below the support area. So I'm really looking at this support area. I'm going to start to scale in soon into Solana. Just adding a little here and there, without plan basically. Just small quantities at the moment until we have a confirmed low in place. I will make the channel members aware when I do this, just because we're getting towards, I think, towards the end of this C wave. Yes, we only are in the 3rd, maybe haven't even completed the 3rd. There should be a 4th and a 5th, but somewhere here we can get a bounce. So I'm watching. And even if we get a deeper retracement, yeah, let's say this is all, let's say all of this is going to be only a larger, let's say this ABC is just a larger A wave. We'll get a large bounce in a B wave, and we will come down in a much deeper C wave, which is possible. And then we might have a wave 2, yeah, maybe. But then you should still get a bounce from the 38.2 fib. That's how to play this, in my opinion. Strategic, yeah. Don't be too confused about what is the correct count, yeah, because there's normally 2 or 3 possibilities. But be more concerned about what's the pivot point, what's the turnaround point, and we should have one turnaround point here at 1850 roundabout, yeah, at least temporarily. Okay, so the subwave count, I'm looking at this as possible wave 1, hero wave 2 up, and we could be in the third wave now. Now, looking at the fib extensions, target for the third wave, 1.618 extension, should also take us to around about 1850. So there should be some kind of a reaction there. Okay. And looking at the subwaves here, looks to me like this was a third, so maybe a third of the third. And we probably had some subwaves, and I would say we probably had here wave 1, 2. To be honest, we could even say that we had here another 1, 2 setup, the 3, maybe now a 4 and a 5, and then there could be even one more 1, 2 setup. Let me think how we could construct this. So if I'm saying another 1, 2 setup here, and then, I mean, this is technically possible as, no, this can't be a 3, 4, so this would need to be another 1, 2 setup, which means this was probably the 3, no, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should still see something like this actually. So it could come down quite a bit lower. Gonna make that white. That's at least best I can tell at the moment. Here another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not too sure about this. This would cascade down quite a lot, but again, bear in mind sometimes micro counting doesn't really give you necessarily what you're looking for. You want to be careful with micro counting. The situation is a bit clearer in my opinion on Ethereum, Bitcoin. But let's just assume we have here 1, 2. This was a 3, 4, and also here, if we know the end of this wave 1 and we know the third wave, we can use that to estimate the end of this fourth wave by drawing a parallel channel. So somewhere here, maybe 2160, observe that one. Then we could still head down further from here. But either way, whatever the micro count is, we might be able to specify that a bit further. I think 1850 would be some strong support. Then we need to see how do we react to it. And then relevant support for the wave 4 is 1645. Going below that would emphasize and bolster the idea that we are actually in a wave 2 and not in a wave 4, which could send us a bit lower. But therefore, I'm going to start to scale in spot until we see a confirmed bottom. Slowly, yeah, keeping cash at hand still for lower prices, but slowly getting back in. Okay, that's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.